My first time with acrylic paints. If you're a beginner like me, you're gonna like this tutorial. We will do this step by step. And I want to thank this YouTube channel for showing me this tutorial. While I'm painting this, I learned a lot about acrylic paint and what to do, what not to do. This is not going to be on my Patreon since it's not my original creation, but there will be more acrylic tutorials on my Patreon. Now get ready to paint with me. Opening my canvas was so exciting. A slightly more exciting experience than a blank paper, to be honest. I got this beautiful acrylic paint on Amazon and they had really high reviews. You can find the link to this beautiful set in the description down below if you're interested. This is what it looks like, and the colors look really bright. These are 24 acrylic paints, not craft paints, as craft paint is much thinner. And I really like the color selection here. It's a variety of colors, and they are the colors that I usually need. Here is the plus side. There's also a silver and gold color. This is my highly acclaimed 1-inch brush. I will also drop the link down below if you want to check that out. I got my white, silver, and black colors. You can use only white and black if you want. I just want a little bit of shimmer. I add some water, I thin my paint, and I add some water on my canvas as well. And I'm adding all these white colors as you see, and then I'm gonna add silver and I'm going to add black, but the black will be just a little because you will see that it's pretty strong. I started going up and down with my brush and I tried to lighten up the black part as I wanted them to be dark gray, not black. Sometimes I add more white because I want it to be whiter around the center. And it is so easy, guys. It's so fun and so relaxing. It's a little bit viscous, it's a little bit thick, but definitely it is a plus to be able to paint lighter tones on black. So I'm lighting up the black and I'm adding some salt, guys, because I saw this tutorial on Jasmine Feeling Nifty Painting Tutorials channel, and I really love this idea, and she has really good beginner acrylic tutorials if you're interested. I'm adding table salt, basically just the salt that we add to our food. Adding this is not enough. I'm going to go over it with my brush again. I have some white and gray paint on there, and once you paint over that salt, you will see the texture coming out. It is really neat. If you want to add more pattern, you can press with your clean tissue and pull it, and when you remove the paint, you will have this very nice looking texture as well. And if you don't like it, if you make a mistake like I did, you can always go over it with your brush again, paint it over, and start again. Now, let's start with the stems. I have this very beautiful shade of green, and I'm going to paint this wooden skewer. I'm trying to put as much paint as possible on the skewer, and once it's done, I'm going to just press it on my canvas. Make sure that the paint is dry, by the way, because otherwise it sticks and it just kind of creates this little weird feeling, which happened to me. And you will see that it's not easy because the canvas has a little bit of bulge in the center. So I highly recommend you to press on the skewer and roll it just a little bit. I try to make it as thin as possible, guys, but my first stems were very thick and they didn't turn out very well. But towards the end, you will realize that I have thinner ones, which turned out to be better. Now, once I did those, I added some white into that green to make it lighter, and now I'm adding lighter stems. It adds depth because I want to add also some darker shades of green later, and that's going to make it look even more natural. I'm having difficulty here adding all this paint. Sometimes I don't have enough paint on my skewer, or sometimes I'm not pressing enough. So just don't give up. Try to push and pull and try to kind of roll them over. I don't know. When I tried to do that with my small brush, it didn't work. But next time, definitely I'm going to give it a try again. Okay, so for the darker gray, I added just a little bit of black, and then I added this beautiful shade of dark gray. I'm trying to add the stems in different directions so that they look more natural, because that's how they look in nature. And once my stems are done, I'm gonna do the lavender now. I have magenta, purple, and white. I'm going to create this beautiful violet color. Ta-da! And I'm going to add some water into it because it's really thick and I just don't want them as thick. I'm dipping my cotton tip and adding all these little lavenders one by one. I'm just pressing and lifting because my green stem was not dry yet. It's just kind of sometimes mixing with green, but that's okay. You can always paint it over. I think that's the beautiful thing about acrylic. You can paint over other paint, and just like it's possible to do that. Another recommendation from me to you, create a bigger batch from the very beginning, because I ran out of paint in the halfway, and the next batch I created, the next mixture was not as the same shade of violet and it just didn't look good. Now I'm adding some black because I'm going to create a darker shade of violet. Now I'm adding a little bit more water, and now I can add this purple color here. Not everywhere though, just some places to add some shadow. This is going to give more depth to your painting. After I complete this, I'm going to add highlights as well, and then you will see that why I am doing this. It's really gonna be great. I didn't need a big batch of mixture for this dark one because I didn't apply it everywhere. And now for the highlights, I'm adding just a little bit of violet and a lot of white, and I have this very bright lilac color. Lilac is how you pronounce it. Anyway, I'm adding again the lightest ones here, and it's so fun. Again, I'm not adding everywhere, but from the places that I really think it will look good next to the darker tones. See, having this variation, having this highlight next to the darker ones, I think creates a very nice look. But then I realized my stems look really lonely. So I'm adding this new batch of violet there, and you can see that it's more pink than my first batch. So, well, whatever. I'm adding some here as well so that it just doesn't look that lonely anymore. Yeah, perfect. This is it, guys. This was easy. It's like under 1 hour and it's 12 by 12. So if you want to have a painting lesson, or if you want to decorate your home, this would be a great way. Of course, you can change the background color. It's all up to you, but this is a perfect start for me on acrylic, and I think I really like this paint. I just need to work more on how much water to add, how long should I wait for it to dry. But look at this salt, guys. The texture looks really nice. If you want, you can paint the sides, which I highly recommend, but I already forgot about it and my gray paint is gone. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for painting with me. In this tutorial, you saw that I used some Q-tips and also some skewers. There are so many other art hacks that you can use, which makes your work more fun, interesting, and sometimes quick. If you're interested in seeing more art hacks like that, you should definitely check this video out.